Grant Professionals have assisted myself and my customers for a long time in securing larger grants for planning purposes, master planning studies that have in the end then resulted in major funding for the sporting facility.
Say 8 or 9 years we've been using you guys and found it just to be absolutely, first class of service, and they've had a very good understanding. The team has a very good understanding of our club and community and the size and what we're about, and it's been so helpful in helping us get numerous grants over the past 8 or 9 years. It's been fantastic.
Well, our club and my consulting business, we've both learnt a lot from Grant Professionals in a few areas. One is the sheer number of grants available through Australia for sport at the community level and also the elite level. Secondly, it's important to know what grants apply to you and what don't, so you don't waste your time in doing so, and potentially money.
We've dealt with Claire, Steve and Omi a lot in recent times, and they've been terrific, so we couldn't speak highly enough of you guys, to be honest. It's like quite a difficult process, but it's as in for doing it yourself, but we've noticed just, once you get a good handle on what we're about, it's been just so much easier to, and plus just knowing what's available.
Grant writing, and any sort of writing, I guess, is a area that requires expertise to get the message across, and Grant Professionals certainly know what the grant assessors and readers want and need to read. Another tremendous benefit is the notion of outsourcing a job to an expert. We're all volunteers at our clubs, and you've got to make decisions about what you're really best at and what other people are best at. And it's a very effective use of time to outsource grant writing, grant sourcing and grant writing to professionals like Grant Professionals.
Look, I think where the Grant Professionals has been really good for us has been to tip us off, or to explain to us that some grants are heavily oversubscribed, and the likelihood of achieving them are remote, or you're not a high probability of having a lot of success, which then it makes us think twice about whether we, when we're doing costings and budgets and that sort of thing, all right, well, don't count on getting that sort of grant, because it's going to be oversubscribed and there's a very good chance you won't get the outcome. And plus just being a lot probably clearer about, because they understand where we're at with our facilities, I think. It's been, you probably should have a go at this, or it's you can't go for this one because you've already, you were successful in the last round. You're going to have to wait another year or two before you can have another go. So, which has been great for volunteers, so we're not wasting our time, applying for things with the likelihood that we're not going to succeed.
A key proposition of Grant Professionals is the success-only model, which I love, because a high percentage of something is worth a lot more than 100% of nothing.
The model certainly works for sporting clubs, and in our experience, we're not out of pocket, but you can look at it and sometimes people begrudge people for doing work, but you guys or Grant Professionals do so much work that the fees are very reasonable. And we probably think in the past our success rate on grant applications prior to using the Grant Professionals was poor, and now it's probably in the 80 to 85% success rate, which is massive for a volunteer organisation who we don't have to do a lot, and we think that's just fantastic, and we've been successful quite a few times, and it's been fantastic. So and the fee, it's money well spent.